the followers of Christ, who were they? A lot of times you're going to read things and you're going to investigate the matter, and you're going to find out that according to what they tell us, that the early followers of Christ were Christians. As they say, Christian is a follower of Christ. But yet when he came unto those people were something different. They had a connection. There was a nationality. There was an identity. And that's something that is extremely important for us to know. If we're going to read this book, if we're going to understand this Bible, we have to know that there is a chain of events. There's a sequence that takes place. These stories just don't happen out of the blue. There is a connection to all 66 books of the scriptures. There is a scripture that will always speak to and about the people in the book. These stories are not just something that is made up. It's not something that just comes out of the air. There is a connection. So it says here that he came unto his own, and his own received as not. Who are his own? Who are those followers of Christ? Well, let's do this. Matthew, the book of Matthew, states here, Matthew chapter 10. And we consistently have to repeat and repeat and repeat these facts, because for some way, the facts have gotten lost. The facts written about in this book, Matthew chapter 10, from the first verse, it says, "And when he had called unto him his 12 disciples, he gave them power against unclean spirits, to cast them out, and to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease. Now the names of the 12 apostles are these: the first, Simeon, who is called Peter, and Andrew, his brother, James, the son of Zebedee, and John, his brother, Philip and Bartholomew, Thomas and Matthew the publican, James, the son of Alphaeus, and Lebbaeus, whose surname was Thaddeus, Simon the Canaanite, and Judas Iscariot, who also betrayed him." Verse 5, "These 12 Jesus sent forth, and commanded them, saying, Go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not, but rather go to the lost sheep of the house of Israel." Something very interesting is written in these scriptures. He chose his own people, with the exception of one of them being a Canaanite. But him being a Canaanite, you would understand that he was one of them. Although he didn't probably have the same cultural upbringing, but he was one of them. I mean, we all tend to have that one person in our neighborhoods growing up. And I know that with myself. I know that Lewis, you share the same thing with us as well too. Like we grew up in Jane and Fridge, Lewis and I. And I'm quite sure, Lennox, you've had this experience as well too. That there's always somebody in the neighborhood that you grow up with that didn't quite look like you, but yet he was one of you. I mean, we had a few guys in Jane and Finch. I mean, predominantly growing up, most of us were Jamaican. I mean, but there was always some white dude that was around us, or some Filipino dude that was around us, but he was one of us because he hung with us. So that's who you have here. That's Simeon. Simeon is that one dude that just hung around you all the time. Although he didn't look like you, but he was one of you. So there you have Simeon. But all 12 of these apostles that Jesus chose the common denominator is that they were all Israelites. That is something that you have to understand.